Welcome to Sorbet City News. I'm lead anchor Jerry Garcia. Breaking news: Dilly Dunker's renowned ice cream maker and leader of one of the most globally recognized brands has announced his retirement. With the nearing of his company's 50th anniversary comes an even bigger announcement. He's planning a final farewell and passing the company on to one lucky kid. Who will that kid be? Well, that's the news story we will be adamantly following in this coming day. In a seemingly revolutionary PR move, the ice cream Satisfactory has packaged 5 silver coins into randomly chosen Dilly Dunker's frozen treats distributed throughout stores and restaurants in Sorbet City. Any child or teen who finds a silver coin is admitted not only a once-in-a-lifetime tour of the Dilly Dunker's factory, but also has a chance at being the lucky recipient of the entire corporation, all assets, and set in a place of leadership to manage all future endeavors of the ice cream empire. Who will the lucky 5 be, and which one will quickly become the richest kid in the world overnight? Well, that remains to be seen. But when it is revealed, you know you'll hear it here at SCN. I'm Jerry Garcia. Now on to the weather. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Session Zero Heroes. We are doing a one-shot that is vaguely inspired by Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and kind of celebration of the Wonka prequel movie that's coming out probably about at the same time as these episodes are being released. Once again, welcome. I'm Skylar, usually the Dungeon Master. We did do one shot so far with Cameron, who's here with me here in the studio. But I'm going to go through everybody else and kind of introduce them and then have them introduce their characters. We'll be playing Kids on Bikes today, which is a fun, very simple system for a kind of like, usually it's used for kind of like a Stranger Things feel of things, but right now we're using it for my homebrew campaign that I've written called Dilly Dunker's Ice Cream Satisfactory. We can start on my right with Cameron. Cameron, you've been on the show a few times, pretty much every session or anything that we've done, you've probably been on it.
People are probably sick of me by now.
That's true. They're like, this guy again. Well, welcome back to another show. Tell us a little bit about the character you're going to be playing.
My character's name is Julian Pardner. He is a fresh teen, 13.
Fresh teen.
Just became a teenager just a couple weeks ago.
Sounds like a compliment.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, you're a fresh teen.
Yeah. That's what his parents tell him. So his big trait is he's kind of dorky. And by kind, I mean he's very dorky. He just hangs around at the school and playing checkers and chess in both clubs that he started. For the most part, what he does is he walks around his school and he talks to people and he tells them about his family's business, which is the local Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
And he hands out vouchers. Just constantly has vouchers and he hands it out to everyone. And anyone is a sale in his eyes. And then in his free time after school, he just hangs out in that Cracker Barrel gift shop and he just challenges other kids to games of checkers.
Oh, right on. So here's my question. Do his parents get sick of the fact that he hands out these vouchers? Because they're like, yeah, maybe it's a sale, but also it's like they're getting discounts that normally they wouldn't have gotten.
They give him the vouchers.
Oh, okay. So that's intentional.
It is intentional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's part of the overall business.
A lady I work with does that for Bumgars all the time.
Oh.
You shop at Bumgars? Here's your Bumgars. 20%
you shop at
off.
Bumgars now.
So yeah,
20%
They
off.
want you to.
That's Julian.
Okay. Sweet.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. If you're unfamiliar with Cracker Barrel, I think it's like full U.S., right? I don't think it's like...
Yeah, that's pretty much full U.S.
It's all around.
It's not even around here. That's
Everywhere but here.
Yeah, everywhere but where we're at. That's true.
Everybody wants one desperately.
Randomly bring up Bumgars. I had no clue what that was till I moved here.
Really?
Yeah,
they don't have that in Sioux Falls?
No, they don't have it anywhere I've been to but Iowa.
Huh.
It's 3 generations of value. You can count them.
That's true. Some of the coupons she gives you. Awesome. All right. So one more time. What was your character's name?
Julian Pardner.
Julian Pardner. All right. Perfect. Awesome. And one thing that I want everybody to keep in mind as we're going through each of these characters. So one of the kind of cool, fun elements of this entire game system is that you guys kind of help me create the world and even help each other with your characters. And one way that we do that is at the end of everybody introducing who they are and their characters, I'm going to have each of you
kind of give a rumor or some kind of like gossip or just something that you feel like your character knows about each of the other characters. I've got a list. If you're kind of running out of ideas or you're not really 100% sure on like an idea for something, I've got a list that I can roll on to give you kind of a question prompt of like, how does your character feel about this other character in this kind of tone or whatever the case. And then that way it gives you something to answer. So that'll kind of help out a little bit. But you know, as you're listening to each person introduce their character, kind of keep in mind what your character might think or know or allegedly know about them. It doesn't have to be true. When you hear a rumor about your character, think about, do I want this to be true or not be true? If it is true, that's kind of the simple answer. But if it's something that you don't think is true for your character, why do you think that rumor has kind of started going around about you? Like, what did you do to kind of spark that? Even if it's not necessarily, factual. So just something to keep in mind. So jumping over to Ben, we got Ben Scaturo. Did I say that right? I said that with the fun way.
Scaturo, yeah.
Scaturo. Okay, very cool, very cool. Ben is one of my coworkers. Really excited to have him on the show. This is the first time we have Ben on the show, so that's exciting. Ben, tell me a little bit about your character.
Yeah, we have a teenager. His name is Kieran O'Mulligan. He is a Irish American.
Nice.
A bit stocky build, curly, reddish brown hair, some hazel eyes with hints of jade, a couple small scars over his, not the right, the left eyebrow. Yeah. And has a few scars and patches of burn scars on his hands. He is someone who attends his high school. He's a part of the culinary club there, and actually is the unofficial TA of the home ec and culinary teacher in school. Whenever he's not at class, he's either with his choir director, and there's usually for what would it be, an ensemble, an after school ensemble, either the barbershop choir or the chamber choir. And beyond that, if he's not at anywhere school, either curricular or extracurricular, he's at home helping around the house when his parents are at work, taking care of his little sister Avery.
Oh, very cool, very cool. So he's sort of a bardic chef.
Oh yeah,
he's a singer, and
that's a good D&D way of putting it. Yeah,
absolutely. That's awesome, fantastic. All right, so we got Kieran O'Mulligan. He sings, he cooks, he bakes, and also I remember from your character sheet, that's how he got like the majority of his scars on his body.
You can see on the fingertips and on the palms a bit that probably came from his earlier days of cooking from bad burns. If he might have grabbed a pan that was too hot still, and
the quick realization about the necessity of oven mitts.
Oh yeah,
fantastic, awesome. All right, so we got Kieran O'Mulligan. Finally, last but not least, we got Bart Miller. Bart Miller, also brand new to the show. Glad to have you, Bart. Bart is the president of the Sioux City Tabletop Gamers, which is actually where we're at right now, is one of our free game day events. We're kind of recording live from there, more or less, not airing it live, but just recording it from the event. And so it's great to be here. Great to have you, Bart. Bart, who in the world are you playing?
I'm playing Philip Dipple. I'm 12 years old. I think I'm the youngest.
I think you are.
I was raised by my grandmother after my parents died, and I've gotten most of my habits and mannerisms from her, including she only let me watch really old, like MeTV type TV shows. So that's kind of my reality.
Nice.
And it is also the source of my obsession with vintage napkin rings, which I'm always seeking out to enhance my collection.
Gotta have those napkin rings.
Yes, and my main goal in the game is I'm trying to hang out with older kids to increase my popularity. I just want everybody to like me. It's hard to be liked when you collect vintage napkin rings.
A place that has good vintage napkin rings? Cracker Barrel. Just saying.
That's probably true.
He goes to the gift shop all the time. They're not exactly vintage at that point. I think they're mass produced.
Hey, they look vintage. That's all that matters.
Appeal.
I am terrified of free ranging goats after the pumpkin patch incident, which we will not discuss.
So what's the pumpkin patch incident?
Yeah.
Please don't bring that
He
up.
just starts shaking.
There's actually a perfect opportunity to like replay the pumpkin patch instance in this one, but we'll get to that later. Awesome, fantastic. Really quick, I'd actually like to go through and just double check on everybody's, so your strengths, your weaknesses, and your fears, and probably your favorite ice cream, which I had all of you kind of come up with. So Cameron, go through those for me for Julian.
My strengths are I'm easygoing, but I'm also a little rebellious because I'm willing to take any leaps and bounds for my family's shop.
Awesome.
My weakness is I'm very clumsy.
Okay.
I noted here, I get stuck a lot in random items at my parents' shop, and they get mad at. That's why I'm stuck to the gift shop, and not. I used to help serve.
Oh, okay.
Not anymore. I got
you're clumsy.
Dropped way too many plates, so
Don't touch your
I'm
napkin
part of the
rings.
gift shop. And my other thing is I'm very dogmatic for the Cracker Barrel.
Right. That makes sense.
So, and my weakness is Butterscotch Blast-Offs, which is a custom butterscotch vanilla ice cream that has marshmallow chunks in it.
Nice. And then what was your fear?
Oh, I'm afraid of clowns.
Oh, okay.
A
Classic.
classic.
Awesome. All right. Jumping over to Kieran. Give me kind of a rundown of like the internal side of your character.
Yeah, much like a little bit like I can't remember what was your character's name.
Julian. Yeah.
I've heard it so many times.
It's all good.
In one ear, out the other. Much like Julian, Kieran is a rebellious teen, but he is also protective. Like he has his younger sibling that he also has been protective of most of his life, so it just comes naturally for him. However, the Irish stoicism can come off a little bit of blunt and patronizing to most people.
He's intense.
Not intense, more of he can feel just, it can be the bluntness. He might be giving you a compliment, but how blunt it is and how he sounds a little bit makes it also sound very patronizing at some point too.
Okay.
And he is cripplingly afraid of bees.
Oh, okay. Hey, I can actually relate to that as somebody with a bees allergy.
Like he's allergic, or he's just afraid of them?
Terrified. Anything that looks like a bee, a wasp, a hornet. That just...
A fly that looks a little big.
A fly that's a little big and a little yellow.
I know that fear. I've experienced that before too.
My whole life.
Yes. Are you also allergic to bee stings?
Not allergic. I don't think so, at least.
Okay, yeah.
You're just afraid of them.
Oh, terrifying.
That's what they tell me is like, oh yeah, usually they find out that you're allergic by it happening.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh yeah, you're allergic.
I've never been stung, but I grew up in Texas where they had a crazy amount of hornet nests everywhere.
Okay.
So having a backyard back then and growing up with having like a wasp hole or a hornet hole in your backyard just running around, you step one random place and then...
It's just a horde of, dangerous stinging things.
And that can change as you age. Like my uncle was never allergic to bee stings his whole life. Now he has to carry a little pen around because one bee sting has been stung and it's really dangerous. So you're never safe. That's important for you to know that.
Does it work
if you're afraid of them? Can you be allergic and then, I don't know.
Because that'd be great.
No longer?
You can lose allergies.
Evolve out of it?
True. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that would be awesome. All right, Bart, you mentioned that you had goats as your fear. What about all the other little significant bits and bobbles for your character?
So I am wealthy because of all the life insurance money from my parents passing.
I mean, not nice, but nice.
Yeah, always have that. Grandma spoils me with lots of spending money at all times. And that is part of, I'm going to try to flex that to move up in popularity. And I've also adopted a lot of grandma's superstitions.
Oh, okay.
So, Now, my favorite is the sugar-free citrus only popsicles. Grandma would not let me eat things with additives or artificial colors and stuff.
So it's not because there's like an actual health reason. It's just she just said no.
That's the only thing I've ever had. Really.
I just realized I forgot to say my flavor.
Yeah, what's your favorite flavor? Yeah,
Kit Kat cookie dough.
Oh yes, the Kit Kat cookie dough.
Oh, yeah.
So each one of these ice creams all come from the Dilly Dunkers company, and each one of them will probably make some sort of appearance one way or another as we jump into things. But all things considered, that's pretty much everything for characters. Now we just got to come up with those rumors about each one of the characters. So let's start with Julian, Cameron's character. What Ben, can you give me a rumor that you've heard, whether it be true or just something? Well, I guess you wouldn't know. It would be a rumor you've heard about Julian.
Yeah, snotty little brat coasting off of his parents' franchise success.
Okay, brutal. Ouch.
There's the blunt Irish stoicism.
That's right. That is.
I'm 13, man.
And you're handing out vouchers like they're
candy. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, for this, it would be ice cream bars, but
yeah.
All right, fantastic. Bart, what do you got for Julian?
My rumor about Julian is that he most of his checker wins are attained by carefully screening his opponents by like 1990s Mike Tyson.
He's sharking his opponent.
Yeah, he doesn't face any real contenders.
He gets all the dumb kids and he's like, "Hey, you want to play a game? I bet you."
Like,
could
I'm
win."
undefeated. Look who I beat.
You know what's funny to pair with that is Julian does do that, but his win rate is like 5%. He is like one of the worst checkers players you could ever play.
So he does vet his
he
players.
tries his best.
It's just
to do,
a rumor.
He tries everything he can to push the odds in his favor, but nothing's going to
Still
help.
doesn't.
he just sucks.
Oh god. Brutal. Wow, you got slammed with two mean
I was gonna say
rumors going around
I was
about
gonna
Julian.
say-
People do not like
I was just
Julian.
gonna say one of them smells funny. Now I feel like I'm just gonna.
Gonna be a little bit more personalized now. Awesome. All right, so let's jump over to Ben's Kieran character. Cameron, what's something you've heard about Kieran that is a rumor about him? It doesn't have to be negative. It's funny when it's negative.
So I'm assuming how we all know each other is we all go to the same school.
Sure.
I feel like that would be the best way, because how else would we all know each other?
So my idea for because like in the original Willy Wonka, we kind of steal the idea of like him sending out a special promotional item, and that's how you guys kind of get involved in this whole thing. But I didn't want to make it a huge span of space. Yeah, exactly, the whole world. So this is basically a local competition.
So
that
we
was set
would
out
know
to your
each other
community.
locally.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it's like you guys all live in this big city, and there's a pretty good chance.
So last year in the high school, there was a fire
Uh-oh.
in the kitchen,
Okay.
and there's a rumor going around that is it pronounced Kieran?
Kieran. Yeah.
Kieran started it.
Oh. Kieran started the
There's
fire
no
of
proof,
Wonka.
but
Maybe
you know,
that's where a couple of his burn scars came
that's
from.
the word of mouth. He was a little adventurous with whatever dish he was cooking. And
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
whole place went up.
All right, fair enough. At the school, awesome, perfect. And then Bart, what's a rumor that Philip has heard about Kieran, or even started?
I hear that even though he portrays himself as a creative chef, all his recipes are from the same church cookbook.
Dang.
It takes recipes from church cookbook.
The same one.
The same one.
Really
Church
hitting at the Irish Catholic
cook.
community
Yeah.
there. I don't know whether to feel.
Why's everything got potatoes in it?
Hey.
You are stepping on too many
You're
stereotypes.
stepping on my family's toes here.
Awesome. All right, and finally we got the rich kid Philip. Oh man, I'm really scared because you've acknowledged that your parents are dead. and I'm terrified. what's
Parents
gonna
died. I
happen.
instantly thought of something
Oh,
to do with
no.
the parents.
I thought of something very dark.
Oh gosh. All right, Cameron, what's something Julian's heard about?
Well, considering
Little
that
Philip.
Ben's gonna go dark, I'm gonna. Okay.
I'm joking.
I don't know. I was thinking just like he sweats a lot.
Okay.
Like
He's got like premature perspiration.
Just like the real world.
he's just a very nervous kid. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So it doesn't necessarily spark from like, oh man, he's really just overdoing it physically. It's just like any given moment, he just starts sweating all of a sudden.
He's like that one guy from the Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Live.
Oh, Moist.
Moist.
Played by, what's his name? That
The guy from
Wallowitz from
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
His power was sweaty.
He gets
That was his
moist.
superpower.
Yes. He took the word that makes most people uncomfortable and he turned it into a superpower.
Yeah.
That's great. Awesome. All right, fantastic. And then Ben, what's something that Kieran has heard about Lil Philip Dipple?
It's not dark as in it's weird, but he's heard that his grandmother is secretly trying to lawyer up and maybe spread out his inheritance because he's not of legal age to fully receive
she's trying
it.
to get his money?
She's trying to get his money to give. Does Philip have any other family, like cousins or aunt and uncle?
No, it's just me.
Just him? Okay.
That makes this more intense too, because I just won this contest to possibly inherit the entire factory. If she can get you on that legal bounds of getting your family's inheritance,
get the factory on top
she might get the factory on top. Like, I've got to oversee his estate, quote unquote.
Conservatorship.
I'm gonna say that is a big rumor.
That's a big rumor
for a child.
Yeah.
The kids at the school year are like, I think grandma's gonna.
He's heard that from maybe his parents.
Sure, that makes sense.
Wow. They're blue collar.
I'm officially worried. There's arsenic in my citrus pop.
Sugar.
How dark is this?
What else? Exactly.
Sugar free, filled with arsenic.
I thought they tasted bad because there's no sugar.
If you were diabetic, then it wouldn't make any sense. So she's
that why he's so sweaty? His system's constantly trying to filter.
He's not getting enough sugar in his diet. Awesome. Well, fantastic. That is pretty much everything that we need for our setup. Thank you guys for listening to our session 0. We will be posting episode 1 right off the bat following this, so be sure to go check that out. And then we'll be posting any following episodes. I can't predict how many episodes it's going to be. I don't imagine it's any more than 3. We're going to finish this up, within a reasonable amount of time here. But be sure to check it out and enjoy.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Dilly Dunker's Ice Cream Satisfactory, a Kids on Bike one-shot campaign created by me, Skylar, and inspired by Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, written by Roald, Dahl. The Kids on Bike system was created by Evil Hat Productions. If you enjoyed our show, be sure to check out our others from Session 0 heroes, such as our ongoing Benders and Brews show set in the world of Avatar The Last Airbender and using the Avatar Legends system, or our ongoing Dungeons & Dragons series, Criminals of Isla Numis. We also do a variety of one-shots using various other TTRPG systems, such as our Monster of the Week Hunter's Haven series. We're growing and releasing new episodes bi-weekly, so you'll see all sorts of systems and themes in use as we move forward, so be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to our show so you don't miss out on any of our future content. Additionally, it would mean so much to us if you take the time to drop us a review, as it always helps our show continue to grow and get noticed by others out there. Your review might even be read on an episode of our show. Of course, if you're looking to keep up to date on our show and our various other endeavors, you can do so by following us on social media, whether that be Facebook, X, Instagram, or Discord, the links of which are in the episode description. And again, we hope you enjoyed this episode and that you'll join us again next time. So stay curious, stay heroic, until we roll again.